Hi, WAVA families and students and staff that's volunteering and helping. Thank you for participating in our WAVA First Spelling Bee. We are really looking forward to February 5th, and it is going to be a great time for all grades 3rd to 10th, and we are looking forward to getting started with you. There's a few things to go over as we get ready for the spelling bee, and I thought it would be helpful to just take a look together so that we all feel prepared. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we can look through the spelling bee overview together. So as we come up onto the spelling bee, here are a few things that we can all keep in mind. So prior to the bee, please take time to review the practice words that were provided. We have emailed out a list of recommended Scripps National Spelling Bee words. These are practice words, and they do cover and encompass grades 3 to 10th. And it's great if you and your students can take time to go through those, practice, and get familiar with the words. Be sure when you arrive on spelling bee day to your designated time that you are there on time, ready to go. We ask that you arrive in the waiting room for your bee 15 minutes prior to the start of your bee. This will allow for us to make sure that we check all the students in, that we have you crossed off on the roster, and that we can confirm who is going to participate and arrived for the bee. If you arrive late, you will be disqualified, so it is important to be there in the waiting room 15 minutes early and enter into the spelling bee on time at either 11 a.m., 1 p.m., or 3 p.m., depending on your time. For grades 3rd to 5th grade, we ask that you arrive at 10:45 a.m. for an 11 o'clock start for the spelling bee. For grades 6th to 8th, we ask that you arrive at 12:45 p.m. for a 1 p.m. start. And for grades 9 to 10, we ask that you arrive at 2:45 p.m. for a 3 p.m. start time. Once you enter into the spelling bee, when it's ready to go, you will be greeted by volunteers. We have an announcer that will be helping out. They will take time to welcome you to the spelling bee, congratulate you for participating, and also an introduction of any staff or judges or volunteers that are helping out within the Zoom call. Name called of each bee participant for check-in. So when we begin, we will go ahead and call your name prior to starting any of our word choices and make sure that you are there. So when you hear your name called, we're going to ask that you unmute and say here. This will make sure that we had all students cross over from the waiting room into the active bee and that everyone is ready to go. Be sure that you're in clear view of the camera. This is important. We are doing a virtual bee, and so we want to make sure that we are observing all rules and expectations. We're asking that you are sitting in view of the camera fully so that you don't have any distractions, that we can see your upper body movement, and that we have a visual while you are reading and or saying your words and spelling them out. We also ask that in addition to sitting in front of the camera and looking into the camera on your computer, that you have your hands sitting in your lap or kind of in view so we can see where your arms are. Also that you refrain from wearing any type of a hat or a hoodie or any headpiece that could block the view of your eyes. We need to be able to see your eyes while you are repeating and spelling the words. Also, we ask that no clothes are worn that have any type of words on them. Please, that will help so that there's no distractions or that we don't see a word that could be called out later in the bee. And be on the call and stay on to cheer on your friends and your teammates and your WAVA students. If you do fall out in a certain round and you are not going forward to the next, it's okay to stay on. We encourage you to, because that way it's less distracting for the other students and it will help us to have a good team community while we get through this bee together. Please stay on mute at all times unless you are called upon to speak or for your turn. That will help so that everyone can focus and that we can hear each other and hear the announcer accurately, and also for the judges that they can hear the students spelling. So remember to stay on mute. Please also prior to going into the spelling bee, you can do Control H on your computer. This will clear any history, cache, or cookies and will help to ensure that it proceeds smoothly. When a word is announced, the speller, the student or the speller, can hear, say, and spell. So you'll hear the announcer, when it's your turn, give you a selected word. Let's just pretend that the word is ahead. And you, as the student or the speller, will be able to hear the word, say the word, and spell the word. So if I heard the announcer say ahead, I would listen, and then I would say ahead. A-H-E-A-D, ahead. And you need to say it at the end after you spell it. Now, if for some reason you did have questions or you don't think you heard it, you are allowed to have the word repeated up to 5 times. If you need to ask to have the word repeated more than 5 times, you will not be able to move forward to the next round. You can ask for the origin of the word or an example in a sentence 1 time. So if you hear a word but you aren't quite familiar with how that word could be used, in addition to hearing it, saying it, and spelling it, you prior to that could ask for the origin or use in a sentence, and the announcer can give you an example of how that word could be used in a sentence. Now remember, that's 1 time. When it is your turn, you will have 2 minutes to spell the word. We will, in addition to our judge, have a monitor volunteer checking the time. And when the 2 minutes is up, if you have not said the word yet, they will call time. And that means that you will not be able to move forward to the next round. Wait for your name to be called, and you can go off mute when you hear your name. You will have your word listed by the announcer and 2-minute time to be able to spell the word back. If you do make a mistake, remember you will be disqualified. If a word includes a hyphen, an apostrophe, or another symbol that is a part of the spelling, you will be required to include that in your spelling. In each round, the students that spell correctly will then move forward to the next round until at the end we have 1 single student remaining. The top student from each group for the 3rd to 5th grade, the 6th to 8th grade, and 9th to 10th grade will have the option to move forward to our regional B with K-12 and Stride. After you finish RB within WAVA, if you are moving forward, you will receive more information on the date, instructions, and how to participate in the next level at the regional B. We will all be supporting you and cheering you on, and you will be representing WAVA. We're really excited to have the opportunity to move forward from a WAVA B to the regional, and then from that, the top person in each category will move forward to the national B, which will be in Washington, D.C. At the end of our WAVA B, we will email you the following week, and we will have a WAVA Spelling Bee certificate for participation that we will send you. Thank you, WAVA, and thank you for participating. If you have any questions at any time, you can always reach out to me, Ms. Chamberlain, and my email is hchamberlain@wava.org. And also make sure that you just take time to be prepared. The key will be that you understand the rules, that you arrive on time, that you've had time to practice and look over the practice words, and also that you are well rested and ready to go. So make sure maybe the night before to have a good night's sleep, a nice dinner, be ready to go the next day and get all those nerves out. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking if you do a competition or some type of challenge. So even beforehand, take time to maybe get those nerves out and do something fun, or read a book to get your mind off of it, or do some exercise. So we're all in this together, and we believe in you, and we're excited that you're participating in our WAVA Spelling Bee. We'll have an overview of this to look through together. This will be included in our February 2nd info night that we'll go ahead and go over the rules. And then on February 5th, I look forward to seeing each of you in your spelling bee. Have a wonderful time competing, WAVA, and we are excited and can't wait to see you there.